Hey everybody, we've got kind of a different video for Be Outside today. This summer, my wife Dion decided to start learning how to grow some plants on our deck. And one of these plants that she put out was milkweed. One day she noticed some butterflies around it, and afterwards she saw some tiny specks on the leaves. So being the curious type, she decided to look this up online and see what they were. So it turns out they were butterfly eggs, and in particular they were monarch butterfly eggs. After some more reading, she discovered all about the migration path that they take each year, mostly ending up in Mexico on the Day of the Dead. There's a really big festival there to celebrate it each year in a certain area, and the tradition holds that they're the spirits of the dead returning home. So, of course, this only means one thing: we're now raising butterflies. Well, luckily, one of her friends knew a little bit more about this, so she was able to get set up in our dining room to harvest the eggs from the leaves and to allow them to grow safely with some fresh milkweed plants to eat. The eggs started out in these little cups with lids as they grew into tiny caterpillars. Once they reached a certain size, they needed to be separated more and fed more milkweed. So she started moving them into these shoe boxes, stood up on their side with a stem of milkweed and some water, and put the caterpillars on the milkweed. They generate lots of poop and eat tons of milkweed. Our one little plant didn't last very long, and she had to collect more from other places to feed these hungry little guys. This really turned into a daily task just to keep them taken care of. Her mothering instinct really came in handy here. As the caterpillars grew bigger, they started to move to the top of the branches. They attached themselves to the top of the containers while they formed the chrysalis to begin their change. This process takes quite a while, and they eat for a couple of weeks before entering this stage. So once they get to the top, they will J, and what this means is they will attach and partially curl up and look like a letter J. Once they enter this stage, it really won't be long before they start to cover themselves in the shell. So they're in this chrysalis for another week or so, and then they begin to turn clear, and you can see the beginnings of the wings and the head on the bottom. So once they're ready, things happen really fast. We were actually only able to catch one of ours in full exit. It really is a neat thing to see them emerge from the shell after having been a caterpillar for so long. So once they emerge, they hang around for another day or so while their wings dry, and then they prepare for their long flight. So when their wings are all dry and they're ready to fly, we check their gender and added them to a long list with a tag that sticks to their wings so that they can be tracked along the pathway. Monarch butterflies are rapidly decreasing in numbers, so studies are being conducted to watch their patterns. So in small batches, we took each of them to the backyard and released them to continue on their path. Dion named each one, of course. Out of the almost 80 eggs that she found, all but one made it to fly away. The last one had something wrong with it and its wings didn't fully form, so we let it hang out on some milkweed inside until it naturally died, and then we made some necklaces from the wings to remember the experience. So I think we would all agree that this was a great experience and we learned a lot about butterflies, and I believe that we'll be doing this in years to come to help them repopulate their numbers. So I hope you found this video interesting and fun, and consider subscribing if you like this type of content.